Hi there, this is Julie. Today in this video we're going to talk through the reasons why a company will set up a set of books. There are three distinct reasons why, and they're crucially important, especially the third one. So let's get started. So let's go through the reason that a company sets up a set of books. There are three important things that a set of books will do. It will set the currency, it will set the calendar, and it sets the chart of accounts. The currency for a set of books, if you will imagine we have a company and it's operating largely in the United States. That's where we're doing business for the most part. We will probably have a set of books for that, and it will be the United States set of books. And the currency for the United States is the US dollar. If we start doing a lot of business in Canada, we would probably set up a set of books called the Canadian set of books, and its currency would be the Canadian dollar. However, since we are headquartered in the United States, ultimately all of our business will be consolidated eventually and reported through US dollars because that is the currency of the company overall. However, there are all kinds of currency exchange and various other accounting concepts that are a little bit more advanced that we're not going to cover in this video that would exist in that kind of situation. Just know that right now, the set of books, however many you've got, will set the currency. The second important thing that it does is to set the calendar. And we can do this a number of different ways, but the two most common is that either a company will set itself up on the calendar, basically meaning that, a month will start on the 1st and it will end on the 30th or the 31st. And so any transaction that occurs within those boundaries will fall into that bucket for reporting purposes. So in my example here of company number 1, this is a calendar reporting period that says January will capture any information, transactions that occurred from January 1st to January 31st, etc. Company number 2, however, is going at this a little bit differently. They are saying, okay, I don't want to start on the 1st and the 31st. I want to start I want to have 4 weeks, and my month always starts on a Sunday, or it always starts on a Saturday, or it always starts on a Monday. And so for 4 equal weeks after that, transactions as they occur, they will fall into that bucket. So comparing these two, in Company 1, January is defined as January the 1st through the 31st, though there will be 31 days in that accounting period. January for the other company is 4 equal weeks, beginning December the 28th through January the 24th. So anything falling into those dates will be January reporting period for that company. And I have a couple of examples from actual companies down below. For example, you see a period ending in the first one where the ending date for annual data, their year ends on September 28th or September 29th or September 30th. And that's because they have this superimposed 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks calendar. So every time they report their annual reporting data, that last date shifts just a little bit by 1 day. However, the second company, you can see their annual data is being reported on the exact same day every year, and that's because they work off of a calendar boundary around reporting periods. The second part of the calendar is that companies will set their fiscal calendar. This financial calendar can be set up for different companies in different ways, and not every fiscal calendar is going to run from January through December. There's a couple of reasons for that. For example, in my company number 1 here, you can see that the company is starting their fiscal or financial calendar in October. And the reason for that in this particular company is because they are a retail organization. They don't want their year end to happen in December because that's their busiest time of the year. So they have decided that their calendar year will start actually in October. Company number 2 is also another actual company that exists where their calendar starts on September. It's an educational institution. And probably any educational institution you ever look at, their financial calendar is going to start in September because that's when we're used to starting school. And finally, this is probably the most important thing about a set of books. And I can tell you that the videos that will follow this are crucially important because this is the most critical piece of information to learn about accounting in order for the rest of it to make sense. So the chart of accounts is going to set your account names. So we have cash, we have accounts payable, we have all kinds of different accounts that we're going to use. It's also going to set the account number range. For example, a company may set up a range of numbers that all of the accounts that are contained in that range would be assets, and another range where everything in that range would be liabilities. And probably the most significant thing that will happen in a chart of accounts is every single account will be assigned a type of account. And the next videos that I'm going to do for you are going to be looking at these 5 types of accounts, because the type of account drives how debits and credits work. It's the sole reason why debits and credits will work like they do in these different types. So I'm going to go through assets by themselves and talk through how an asset works. So regardless of whatever account may be in the asset section, they all behave the same. The same goes for liabilities. Anything that's defined as a liability is going to behave a certain way. So I'm going to walk you through in the next 5 videos specific examples of how the logic works around those 5 different types of accounts. Specifically, how the debits and credits work, so that you can have your mindset right as we start getting into transactional information. Thanks a bunch, and here we go.